Welcome to an orientation for EDEL 624 for the fall semester of 2017. The purpose of this orientation is to give you an opportunity to view how D2L will work in this course, EDEL 624, for the fall semester. If you'll notice, as I'm recording this, there's a statement here that says, "Final edits are not yet complete." When you're able to log in for the first time to D2L for this course, please make sure that it says final edits are complete before you begin going through all of the information. And again, be sure you've completed the course orientation before you begin entering any information into EDEL 624. An orientation can be met by watching this video or by participating in the Adobe Connect session scheduled for September 7th at 7:30. Again, to meet the course orientation requirement, watching this video, maybe even many times, or attending the September 7th orientation will meet the requirement for the course orientation. This is all addressed in the letter that you are receiving as part of the pre-course information. That letter is typically called "What I Need to Do" and is attached to an email that has been sent to you in preparation for the course for this semester. The orientation that you're now viewing will also be available on the front page of D2L in this box by clicking on this arrow here. Again, this is the orientation for EDEL 624 for the fall semester using our shell from Bright House Works called D2L. Again, this is the front shell. You can see multiple things on here. This is your content browser. This is a summary of all the materials available in the course for you. The first module is a must-read information and course first modules. By clicking here, you'll see all of those items that are included as part of this module. You'll have the letter that I spoke about. You'll see a tutorial on how to submit assignments in Dropbox. You'll have the list of the course requirement textbook. You'll have a certification quiz. This quiz is not a content quiz, but simply a quiz that asks you to be sure you understand the requirements, and then an assignment called a pacing guide. This pacing guide is for you to decide when you're going to complete assignments and gives you sort of a refrigerator guide to when things are due based on when you want them done. You'll see the final date showing up here in your calendar. However, there are some course dates that you may want to look at very carefully in the assignment modules that we'll look at shortly. Again, this is the front page that you'll see as you enter D2L. The letter that you've been sent, the video that we're now creating, a listing then of each of the modules, and I'll go through all of those as we complete this video orientation. Across the top, you'll see the content. You're welcome to use that as a browser for the course, but to me it is more simplified and organized by using the content browser summary, as you can see here. Let me briefly show you why I recommend you using the content browser summary under the home button. When we open up content, it displays the entire course, and to me that is a little overwhelming and not organized as neatly as the content browser home button will bring you. Returning to home is simple by clicking on this title. This takes us back to the home, the front page of the course in D2L. We're back at the home page again. So anytime you're moving through, simply click on this. You'll also begin to see breadcrumbs show up and those will make a little more sense as we walk through this. But this is your home button so that you'll know how to get back to the beginning of the page no matter where you are in the course. Assignments, this tab will take you directly to the assignments within the course. And you'll see when the assignments open, each of them have a due date. This is different than what you'll be creating in the assignment called Pacing Guide. These are the must-have dates. What I'm asking you to do, this is a self-paced course, so you'll be setting up due dates for each of these assignments that you'll find. I do not recommend that you use this page to work through the course. I recommend that you go back to the home page and work through each of the modules that you'll see for content. For example, when we look at the home browser, here's your content modules, and within each of those content modules you'll find information and assignments. You'll find help information so that as you're trying to do the assignments, be sure you've read through each of these content module information. For example, here's the textbook information and then the textbook assignments. As you can see here, these are the breadcrumbs that start to show where you are in the course. So I'm going to return home. I'm going to open my content modules again. I'm going to open up a different one. Here is content information about online surveys, and here are the assignments for this module. So to me, the best way to understand the course is to work through the content modules. Returning home to the content browser home. This is a summary of where things are. Let me go back up to the top and walk my way through here. Discussions are again another activity that you'll be doing in addition to the assignments. These discussions are open-ended. Your requirement is to reply to each of these topics that are presented here. You'll see them now appearing. Email discussion prompt, technology violation, old dogs, new tricks, money and technology, technology professional development, and internet filtering. These are discussions where you will post your response. It is not part of the assignment, but you will find these discussions as you go through the entire module lineup. Class list, this is simply a list of students enrolled in the course, and it provides you the email address of your colleagues, which will be more useful as we move through the course so that you can communicate with individuals. Their usernames will be here. I would not recommend using this email or instant message. I would suggest you look here to get the email address. So this person's email address is srfralin@radford.edu. You'll see members of your class as we look through this list. Returning home again. We now see the main screen appear, the front page again. Groups, I'll explain this more during the orientation online, but you will have several group assignments, and the group assignments will be found in the content modules. I will create the groups after our September 7th orientation. So this will be useful for you to see your group after I assign those groups. Quizzes for this are very simple. You have a quiz that is a check to make sure that you understand the entire course. This is what I mentioned. This is a certification quiz where I simply give you some basic questions that you can answer so that I understand and you understand the requirements of the course. Again, I'm going to move back to the home page of the course here in D2L. You now see again, back to the beginning. Grades, this is where you'll be able to go and see your grades. In terms of grades for this course, when you submit the assignment, I try to make an effort that you get a score, grade, and comments within 24 hours of your submission. You will go here to check those and to see your grades. You can also use the assignment tab to look at what assignments have been completed. But please check your grades. I grade these as quickly as possible, and if you don't get full points for your assignment, you're allowed to resubmit any number of times to get the assignment earned for full points. So again, keep track of your work by looking here in the grades. Those are the primary tabs across the top that will help guide you through the course itself. My page looks a little different because I am an instructor. So these are the items. Content is a full display of everything. Assignments is a list of our assignments. Discussions are a list of the prompts you are to complete. Class list shows you your student colleagues. Groups is where you will see your group once we assign those after September 7th. Quizzes is for the one quiz that exists. And grades is where you'll constantly check to be sure you've gotten your assignments correct and to read my feedback to you. All right, now that we've looked at the top tabs across and we've looked at the front page, let's take a more detailed look at what's in the content browser. I showed you this. This is your first module, your Start Here information, a tutorial on submitting assignments in Dropbox here, your course textbook, the certification quiz, and your first assignment as a pacing guide. Let's go back to the home of the content browser. You have university resources, and these are items within the university that you may want to click on to be able to see and receive additional information. That's including disability assistance, having trouble with technology and D2L, and diversity and international student assistance if there's any information there that might be helpful to you. Again, I'm returning to the home of the content browser. Here are course resources, a number of things that are here, and these items will change as we go through the course, and I provide you updates to the course. Anything that's added to the course resources will be shared with you and noted in a course update that's emailed to you. I'm returning home again to the content browser. Here are your content modules. These are the topics of which you'll be creating work and doing additional study. You can see that there are a number of them, and each of these include content and assignments. So you can see here there is a required textbook. You can see here what that assignment is, what the book is, and what information you'll want to share. So there is your course textbook. Please note the 4th edition that the course is based on. The other editions will not align with the assignments that you have within that particular book. You'll be assigned both individual and group activities from this textbook. Those assignments are included in your individual D2L assignments as well as your group assignment and are included in the content modules. Here are the breadcrumbs now appearing that I was speaking about. You can see we started with table of contents into content modules. We're in the required textbook and specifically looking at textbook reading and assignments. Again, we can go back to the table of contents, or we can go back to the main page of the course by clicking at the very top here of the home page. Again, the home page of the course is displayed in D2L, and we can return to the content browser home. Content modules, again, that's where all of the information is contained for the topics we're covering and the assignments that you have to work on during the course. This is the recommended way to work through the course, is using the home of content modules and then working through by using the content modules that are currently displayed. So as I return home, content modules, and then a listing of those modules. Content Browser, Home. One of your assignments provides you an opportunity to do some PowerPoints as a group in certain chapters, and those are explained. What I've done is provided here some samples so that you have a good idea of what those PowerPoints should look like as you complete them. Again, that's found in the Content Browser under Chapter PowerPoints. Again, scrolling through, as a reminder, here are your tabs across the top that you'll use. And down here is the home of your content browser, where you will find your content modules. This is the recommended way to work through the course, returning frequently to content modules so that you're able to determine where you are and what you want to work on. Again, the pacing guide that was discussed briefly at the beginning, it is an assignment that's found in your module, can also be found here on assignments. This is where you'll provide me your direction and how you expect to complete the course. What's your timing going to be? We'll look at the pacing guide as an assignment. You'll be able to submit that assignment here when you're in the student mode. I'm in the instructor mode. I just wanted to show you where that assignment is. Let's go back to home again. Assignments, this is kind of a go back and look at, not using for purposes of working the course, but instead using the Content Browser Home to work through your content modules. First module to get you introduced in some early assignments, university resources, course resources. This will continue to be updated during the course. Content modules, where the meat of the course is, content information to help you, and then some sample chapter PowerPoints that you'll be finding due in both the group and individual assignments. Again, I recommend that you attend the online session in Adobe Breeze with me on September 7th to get better information. However, if you're familiar with D2L, you're welcome to use this as a requirement for your orientation. This also will count as one of your classes that you're required to participate in online if you come to the September 7th meeting. My recommendation, particularly for new students, is take time and review this, as well as attending the September 7th so that you're able to ask all the questions that may be raised as you begin working in D2L. Again, once a reminder, be sure this says final edits are now complete when you log in, and be sure that you've completed a course orientation, which is watching this or attending September 7th before you start entering information. Again, you'll receive an email with this video as well as the welcome letter. The welcome letter is also found in your content home under the first module right here. This video will also be added to this list as well as being on the front of the home page for EDEL 624. Again, as you have questions, always email rmccracke at radford.edu. That's rmccracke at radford.edu. You will find a Gmail address for me as you work through the course, particularly as you submit Google Docs. So please pay attention to that note when it asks you to use a Gmail address. But for normal correspondence, please use rmccracke at radford.edu. Thank you, and I look forward to our work this semester.